Hey guys, I'm going to be going over your science lesson for Monday and Tuesday because I was a day behind. So here you can see where it says Monday, day 1. So look at the pictures and read the passages. Which child gives the most accurate description of these animals? So what you'll do is you'll look at these pictures and you'll read this passage. This passage is children talking about the two animals here. And then you'll go over here and you'll decide which was it Janet, Megan, Samantha, or Sydney that gave the best description of these animals? So you'll have to read their responses. This is your animal classification activity. So there's going to be these cards here attached. So it wants you to cut them out and put them in a safe place. So maybe if you have a Ziploc bag, you can put them in there and then put them like wherever you keep your things. If you have any journals, keep them there. Or maybe in your backpack since you're not using it right now. What you're going to do with those cards is you're going to look at the animals and what do you notice about them? How can you classify them? So let's look at the animals again. I see an animal that's living under the water, so maybe I can take the animals that are living in the water and put them in one group. I'm also seeing animals that fly, so flying animals I can put in another group. And then I'm also seeing the squirrel, that's a mammal. I know that for sure, so you're going to put that maybe in the mammals. And that's what you're going to, so you can also get creative. Do more than what I'm giving you. If you notice something else, put them in a group based on what you notice. It gives you an example. How many different ways can you think to group these animals? So I give you a few examples. This gives you a few examples here too. Think of some more. Here's an exit slip. So an exit slip says to draw a picture of an animal you see around your home on the back of this paper. So here is where you would draw it. It can be an animal that lives with you or an animal that lives outside around your home. Use the groups that you listed to describe your animal. So if you happen to see a squirrel outside, think about what group of animals that would fall into. I already know there's a squirrel there, but you know. And that's it for day 1. I'm going to go ahead and go on to day 2 as well. So day 2, you have your hook. This means your introduction. It says, look at the picture below. Imagine you are in this place. So this is a beach. What kind of animals would you see at the beach? So if you haven't been to the beach, think about there's a body of water, there's sand. Think about animals that live in the sand or near water like that. And just make a list of animals you might see there. And then we have our Animal Classification Explorer. So it gives you a group of mammals, a group of amphibians, and a group of reptiles. You're going to think about what characteristics you see that they have in common and list them below. Right here it's giving you the explanation, so if you want to make sure you do that first, go ahead and pause the video here, think of some characteristics of these groups of animals, write them down, and then see how your characteristics compare with the ones below. Alright, and then this is our explanation. So, animals are often grouped by the presence or absence of a backbone. So whether they have a backbone or not, that spine in your back, whether they have one or not. Animals that have a backbone inside their body are called vertebrae, and animals that don't have a backbone in their body are called invertebrates. Many invertebrates have an exoskeleton, and an exoskeleton is a hard outer shell that supports and protects an animal's body. So that's going to be a lot of bugs. Compare your observations of the mammals, amphibians, and reptiles with their common characteristics bulleted below. So here we have the mammals. Mammals are vertebrates with fur or hair. They give live birth, except for a few weird ones like the platypus and the I don't know what that is. They lay eggs, but they're still considered mammals. They feed their babies with milk from their mother. They breathe using lungs, and they're warm-blooded, meaning their body temperature stays the same. Amphibians, on the other hand, are cold-blooded, meaning they have to stay somewhere warm. Remember Oscar, our pet lizard? He had to have a heat lamp because he couldn't control his body temperature. He had to sit under the heat lamp. They are vertebrates with smooth, moist skin. So these are actually animals that are born in the water, and then they can also breathe. They develop lungs as adults, so they can breathe on land as they grow up. They lay eggs in the water, and they breathe through their gills when they're young, and as they grow, they develop lungs, and then they can breathe on land, like frogs, salamanders. Now these are reptiles, and that's what Oscar the lizard is. He's a vertebrate that breathes using lungs. He always had lungs, he never had gills. They have dry skin with scales, so remember when we touched Oscar, he was very bumpy. They usually lay eggs on land. There are a few reptiles that will lay their eggs in the water, but not many. And they are cold-blooded, meaning they have to get that heat from the sun or a heat lamp or something else. They can't keep their body temperature warm by themselves. And then here's your exit slip. Label each animal below as a reptile, mammal, or amphibian. So just think about what you saw that in and the characteristics and label that there. And then that's it for day 2. I will be posting another video for days 3, 4, and 5 later on. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Alright, bye!